Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I need to zoom you out a tiny bit. I feel like it's a bit close. A bit too close for comfort. Guys. Hello. I am extremely excited for today's video. If you couldn't tell. I'm back in my own flat, literally for about an hour, so I can film this video, and then I've got to go back to dog sitting. So we're going to try and make this speedy, but I'm very excited and kind of all over the place. So bear with, but I have a big, fat, gay surprise. Not really a surprise, because I mean, a lot of you knew it was kind of coming, but also a lot of you probably didn't know. So you might have seen me live a few times within maybe like the last month or so. And that is because I've been working on a little Pride collection, right? That has me very excited. I'm going to give you a backstory. We're going to talk quite a little bit before we get into the clothes. So I hope you'll stick around and hear what I've got to say, because the thought process and other things to do with the collection are really important to me. So hopefully you'll stick around to hear kind of like a backstory. But I mean, if you want to skip ahead and just look at the clothes, fair enough. So the conception of this little collection, first of all, I guess I should probably tell you the name, because I haven't mentioned that yet. But essentially, I've made a collection logo, and this collection is called the More Than Seasonal Pride Collection. And this is the logo. I'm sure I've put it on screen. So the reason behind why I wanted to call the collection More Than Seasonal is because I think a lot of times we see brands come out with these Pride collections around June, July time. And typically, not that I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, because at least it's something, but most of the time it's just rainbow slapped on a t-shirt, and it's not necessarily the most fashion forward or fun. So I kind of wanted to challenge myself to create a fun collection of t-shirts, hoodies and jumpers, like crew necks, just so people have something fun to wear for Pride. But also, not just for Pride, because realistically, I'm going to be wearing this shit all year round. This is not one of them, by the way. I'm just wearing a random t-shirt. I'm going to be wearing these all year round, because they're the kind of thing that don't scream like, hi, I'm prideful, I'm full of rainbows. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with it, but personally, that's not my kind of style. So I found myself wanting like graphic tees that obviously expressed my gayness, or like just expressed that I was a part of the LGBTQIA plus community, but didn't like scream it in a way of it just being like Rainbow City, you know, because I don't necessarily need that in my life. I'm sure some of you love that shit. I'm just not that kind of person. So this collection, I mean, it's for everybody, but it's just a slightly different take on the usual that we see every year from brands. I've created 5 different designs. I'll obviously show you them all, and we'll go through like the thought process behind the design and like little tidbits here and there, because you guys know me. I design everything myself. I conceptualize everything myself. And I like to put a lot of little intricate details into things that people might not necessarily catch on like the first glance, whatever. So I'm going to be telling you all about the little nitpicky bits that I decided to add in, and like the color choices and whatnot. First things first though, before we do get into the clothes, this is like maybe the most important part. I've decided, because obviously this is the Pride collection, it wouldn't be right for me to launch a Pride collection and not in some way try and give back to the community. So I've decided that at least 50% of any revenue or earnings that I make from this collection will be donated to Stonewall. It's a charity that I really, really like. They're working to try and improve every part of the LGBTQIA plus community, which I think is really important. Obviously, it's equally as important to have specific charities for certain parts, but I, with this launch, wanted to try and give back to everybody and try and just help out a charity that is working for everybody, you know. So I decided Stonewall. I did some research. They seem like a great charity. I'm excited. Hopefully you're excited. So at least you guys know, if you do want to support this launch, it's not just going to be like money in my pocket. It's going to be going towards the community as well. When it comes to merch, I just love the idea of like wearing it myself. So like a little bit of money is obviously a bonus, but I'd rather use the money to go into a charity. I'm not forcing anybody to buy this stuff. This is just if you want it. I'm just super excited about it and really proud of it. So I hope you guys are excited to see. So I took about a week to fully design these myself. I spoke to my friend Liam, who you guys will have seen before, and he helped me like in areas like kind of brainstorm some ideas. But I actually was surprised at how much of this just kind of like struck my brain. So yeah, the first design, I'll probably put it on the screen somewhere like from my iPad, so it's really high quality, and then I'll show you it on a piece. But the first design is the camper than a row of tents design. The way this originated was I received a hate comment towards the beginning of this year, I think, and it had that saying in, which I'd never heard before. But I read it out to my friend on one of his podcast episodes, and he was like, "Oh my god, that's like actually a popular saying. Like apparently his dad used to say the saying a lot." So as soon as I kind of like thought about that quote, a few of you did mention in that podcast as well, like in the comments, that would be a really good design for like a pride little design. So I did that. As you can see on the design, we've obviously got tents. We've got a little all-inclusive gay flag there. We've got a lovely, cool, like 70-ish font. And then on the front, I decided with all the pieces, I wanted to do a little thing on the front, kind of like this t-shirt, a little thing on the front, and then a big design on the back. So the back is the big thing that you see on this side, and then the front is a little design up on the top corner that says happy camper on like because obviously, like, do you know when you go to a camp, you like see like the sign of the camp and stuff? So I kind of wanted to emulate that, and I thought happy camper would be really cute, and it's in the same font. So that's the first design. That's how it originated. It's just fun. Anyone can kind of wear it. It doesn't necessarily say like, I am this part of the community. I just thought this one was fun just because it's a fun quote. I know there was a little controversy with like the choice of camper, but I decided to keep it that way because that is the saying. I know it might not be grammatically correct, but I don't feel like it needs to be. Okay, so the next one that I worked on was the bi is fine one. So this one is definitely an ode to my little bi queens out there. I know I've got a lot of you, so I definitely had to use this quote. Some of you might know, some of you might not, but I'll tell you. This quote was actually something that I randomly said in my Heartstopper videos last year, and you guys seem to fuck with the quote. You guys commented it a lot. So when I was like thinking of ideas, this was definitely a quote that I wanted to incorporate. So let's get to the design. I couldn't necessarily think of like some fun shtick other than the front thing that we'll talk about in a minute. But like for the big design, I didn't necessarily want to make it like a whole thing. So I decided to like kind of emulate the Y2K or like the 80s kind of vibe with the lettering. And obviously you might notice, you might not, but I decided to use the bi flag colours. Colours are going to be like a big thing following along from this one, so I'll be talking about that quite a bit. So I decided to use the bi flag colours, which is obviously pink, purple and blue. That's why you see it in this big thing. And then on the front, I kind of came up with the idea of taking like a little jab at bi erasure, which was like a topic of discussion last year, also during the time of my Heartstopper videos and whatnot, and I've definitely discussed it in length quite a bit. So I decided to take a little jab and a little at like the whole bi erasure thing. So you'll see on the front, I decided to draw a literal eraser, like that you rub stuff out with, like pencils, whatever, and then obviously like the little shape that's like obviously crossing it out that emulates the shape on the back. Obviously this is kind of just saying like fuck bi erasure, essentially. And I also kind of like the thought of like people maybe being like, why are you wearing a top with an eraser on? And then that kind of sparks a conversation, which I think is always good. Or it might not. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just like, okay, she's wearing a t-shirt with an eraser on. But I think that's just kind of fun and campy and slay. So I thought that was a cool little design for the front, and it's kind of like a little bit indescript, but obviously you guys all know, and if people ask, then they ask, and it sparks, like I said, a conversation, which is always good, because fuck by erasure. Okay, so that's that design. I love it. Obviously, as you'll be seeing in the clips, I do have it in the black hoodie, and it pops so well. So I'm really excited about that. Moving on, the third design is the Life's Too Short Not to Be Gay one. Now, this one's where we get into like crazy territory, right? This is where I really like decided to flex my pen and wanted to go a bit crazy and a bit off the wall and kind of random, but in the most fun way. So let's talk about the quote first. Now, this was a quote that I mentioned in a Stranger Things video, I think. I'm not sure, actually. I mentioned it in a reaction at some point, I believe. I think it was Stranger Things, but I mean, you guys will probably tell me. But it was definitely a quote that I remember myself, and I remember you guys liking a lot also. It was like a highly commented quote, and I love this quote because I think it's true. Life's too short not to be gay. As you'll see on the back, I decided to do a gumball machine. You know, like the old school gumball machines where you obviously have to put your coins in, you twist it, bam, you've got gumballs. Balls. You see where I'm going with this? But obviously quite indescript. So I decided to do a gumball machine. I decided to do the colours of the gay flag as the gumballs. But then the specific gay flag, like the blue, green and white, was the reason for the colours of the gumball machine and the bubble gum on the front. So let's look at the front. On the front, I did once again like a little design at the top, and it's as if you've blown some of the gumball, and obviously the lettering is all very it's very bubble gum vibes, and that's why obviously those colours are those colours, right? Quick thing I need to speak about in terms of the sample that you guys will be seeing. The front thing for the sample is actually smaller than it's going to be when you guys receive it. I've spoke to the people that are obviously making it, and I've said, can the front thing be a little bit bigger to match the others? And the back design is going to be much more saturated also. So I felt like I needed to say that because it's not going to be exactly what you're seeing, but it's going to be the same design, just brighter or bigger, right? I love this one. This one's actually one of my mum's favourites. Obviously, I've been showing my friends and my mum and stuff, and they're obsessed. So this one's actually one of my mum's favourites. She just loves the gumball thing. Obviously, the last thing that I feel like I need to tell you, this is like another little tidbit that people might not pick up on. You'll be seeing on the gumball machine that it does in fact say fruity flavoured gum. And the reason why I thought of putting that on the machine was because obviously gay people get called what? Fruity. Right? So I decided flavouring the gum fruity could just be kind of like a fun little inside joke that I think is kind of sly. I love this one. This one might be one of my favourites, but I feel it's like I'm having to pick between children. It's very difficult. So I'm not sure. I'm not about to pick. You guys can let me know in the comments which is your favourite. Because even if you don't want to buy it or you can't buy it, like I'd love to know down below which one of the designs is your favourite. Okay? Moving on to the fourth design. The fourth design, this one is like buck wild. This is probably the wildest and buck wildest I went with a design. This is one of my favourites, and it's definitely got a lot to it. So, as you'll be seeing on the back, this is the Lesbians t-shirt. Now, this is obviously more for my lesbians, but obviously we all can wear them all. I'm well excited to wear the lesbian one, oh my God. So, I decided to create a Lesbians bean can. Now, you'll be seeing, once again, the colours emulate the lesbian flag colours, which is obviously the orange, the pink, the white, that kind of thing. So that's the reason for the colouring. That's why the beans are pink, because I thought I kind of wanted to flip the colours of the beans, because realistically, beans are kind of like orange, right? And I thought if I do pink, it just makes it a bit more interesting visually. So that's the colours, and that's the reason for the colours of the can. Lesbians... come on, we've all heard lesbians being called lesbians before. That's the reason for that. You'll also notice under the lid of the bean can, I thought I'd do like a subtle female sign, you know, like how we have like the circle down cross thing, that's like the woman's sign, right? I thought that could be kind of fun as like an almost like embossing underneath the can lid. You'll also notice on the bottom as like a little tagline, it says subtly, so obviously like this is still for the lesbians, but this is like an all-inclusive like little tagline. It says, if I could be anything, I'd be a lesbian. That's another quote that I definitely said in the video. I'm pretty sure it was a Stranger Things one when Robin came out. I said it then, and I stand by it. If I could be anything, I would be a lesbian. There's that, and then the last thing that you might notice, which is maybe my favorite little element of any of the designs, that is the fact that it says baked beans with no sausages. Now, this, I'm sorry, this is kind of a stroke of genius. Right, so I was looking for inspiration at very like vintage looking bean cans, right? And I kept coming across obviously beans with sausages because that's like a typical thing that happens, right? I'm not sure if that's everywhere, but I know in the UK it is. So I decided, I mean, we're lesbians, we don't like penis, or we don't necessarily need a penis to fulfill us. So I thought it would be really fun to do the whole baked beans with no sausages, because I think that's just really fun. And then on top of that, I did like kind of like the flower power 60s kind of vibe with this design, just to try to emulate a certain era, which I think really works well with the colours. And then on the front, you'll see just like the spoon with a spoonful of the beans, just because I thought that was a fun little thing to add on the front. And obviously it's once again in the lesbian flag colours. So yeah, now the last one's potentially my favourite, but I feel like I've been saying that for them all. In an ideal world, I would have made 20 different designs, a specific one for each part of the community, but obviously that wasn't really possible in the time frame that I had because I did leave it quite late. And also I'm not sure if Everpress would have allowed me to launch 20 different designs. So I decided with this last one, I wanted to create an all-inclusive t-shirt that anyone can buy, right? Because obviously I was taking inspiration from the all-inclusive pride flag that has obviously all the rainbow colours, the light pink, the light blue to obviously represent our trans queens, and obviously the black and brown for black and brown people. Okay, so I wanted to use that as inspiration for this one because I feel like that flag kind of like represents everybody within the community. So as you'll see on the back, I decided to create a game scenario because my initial idea was like I wanted to do this whole choose your player vibe, just because I think it lends itself really well to like the different colours of the flag. And obviously it's just like you can kind of identify with all different parts of the flag. So I chose the kind of like choose your player vibe, and then I took it one step further and created like a very old school arcade game. It's kind of unhinged, but kind of slay at the same time. You'll notice at the top, obviously, there's like a bit of rainbow. There's a lot of rainbow throughout, to be honest. The avatars are strictly like no gender, nothing, just up and down avatars. That was very important for me because obviously I want to include our non-binary people. So I made sure that avatars were not gendered whatsoever. They're obviously all in different colours that are featured on the flag. And yeah, and then I just tried to create like this very fantasy game, and I was like, what do you see a lot in arcades? Very alien vibes, like shooting aliens and stuff. So I decided to come up with like an alien design with the guns. And then on the front, oh my God, I love this design on the front. I'm absolutely obsessed. You'll see on the front, we've got just one of the avatars, but with every single colour of the flag on. And it's holding just one of the guns, which I think is really cute. And that's also the icon that you'll see for the like in between the logo, because I thought that was just a really cool addition. And then the last thing with the game, I decided to call it Parade because I was like, I was really trying to think of some cool names for the arcade game, and I thought Parade could be kind of fun because obviously Pride Parade. So yeah, I called it Parade, and I hope you like it. I am absolutely obsessed with this one. I think it's so fucking cool, and I can't wait to wear them. So in terms of garment choices and prices, let's get down to business. So as you can see, and as you have seen in the clips, all designs will be available in crew necks, hoodies, and 2 different styles of t-shirts. The difference between the 2 t-shirts, the one that you saw me wearing was the oversized t-shirt, and the other t-shirt that we're offering is the inclusive t-shirt. So you guys know with my other launches with Everpress, like, it's very important to me to make sure that there's something for everyone, especially with this launch, okay? So I wanted to make sure that we were still doing the inclusive t-shirts, which range from, I believe, extra small to 5XL. So that's like a pretty good size range. I do think the sizes are pretty good for everything else too. I think they go up to like 2XL, 3XL, and like they're like extra small, whatever. Like the sizes are pretty good, but just in case, like, there is those extra sizes there for that t-shirt. In terms of colors, for the t-shirts, we're doing black and white. For the crew necks, we're doing black, white, pink and navy, I believe. And for the hoodies, we're doing black, white and navy, which is obviously, this is the navy one. But yeah, the quality is really good. I upped the quality and changed the garment slightly for the t-shirt and for the hoodie. So this is a different hoodie. If you've ordered a hoodie from one of my other launchers, you're going to be getting a slightly better quality hoodie with this one. Like, this is like the top one that they offer. So yeah, and I can tell you now, like, the fleeciness is going to be lovely in the winter. But yeah, so that's the garment choices. In terms of the prices, obviously, I've never done designs that obviously have something on the front and on the back and with as many colors. So because of that, the prices are increasing a tiny bit, but these are still like base level. Like, these are the cheapest I could make up. The inclusive t-shirt is £25. The oversized t-shirt is £26. The crew necks are £34, and the hoodies are £45. And then I guess the last thing to mention is it ships worldwide. That's one thing that I always get asked. They do ship internationally, but obviously you can check on their website for like specific areas, because I know that international shipping can mean different things. But on their website, it does say that they ship internationally. It's launching now. So when you're watching this, there's going to be a link in the description to the store, because they've done me a whole store. You'll see the artwork that I created, which I'll probably put on the screen here. I created this artwork yesterday, and funny story, I was on the train back here from dog sitting, and a straight, like straight as they come guy walked past me as I was like working on it, and he was like, "Whoa, mate, that is so cool." And I was like, thanks. I guess that's a good sign if the straights are living. So yeah, hopefully you like the little artwork. I'm going to be doing more artwork today after I film this for like little promo and stuff. But yeah, it's launching now, so check out the description if you'd like to purchase anything. If not, that's totally fine. I would like to know what your favorite design is, so if you'd like to let me know that in the comments, that would be great. And yeah, I think I've hit on everything, but I'll be in the comments when this goes live, so if there's anything else that you're wondering and I've not mentioned in this video, obviously ask me and I'll be there to answer any questions. But yeah, we're going to be doing a 2-week period, and then it'll close, and then it'll reopen straight away. So it's going to be a relaunch every 2 weeks until I decide to stop it. I want to do the 2-week period just because that gives enough time for the pre-order to, like, obviously be effective, but it's not going to be too long that you're waiting ages for it to be delivered and stuff. So we're going to be doing 2-week periods, and it'll just keep relaunching till I decide to stop. So yeah, I've been wearing these to death the past few days. I'm honestly obsessed, and I'm not just saying that. Like, I'm so proud of myself, to be honest. I think I've really done bits with this launch, and I'm excited. But yeah, with all that said, I guess this brings us to the end of this video. If you've made it this far, thank you so much. You're a real one. And yeah, I hope to see you all repping the merch sometime soon. And I mean, let me know in the comments if you do buy anything, or DM me. I'd love to hear from you. So yeah, goodbye. Thank you.